Well, hello there. Welcome to our Friday demo. Glad you could join me. I am going to be doing a very simple pour. Well, basically a pretty simple pour, but hopefully it'll turn out very cool. I'm excited about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Probably a quick one. I have already got my panel all ready to go. Base coat is on. We are ready to roll. So welcome everyone. Hey, Carla and Pat have joined us. Welcome, Lynn. And Chris is here as well. Awesome. And I'm sure more people will be joining us in a minute. They might be too late though, because we're going to fly tonight for, I've got something else on the horizon. I've got to make it a quicker demo tonight, but hopefully it'll be a good one. Hey, Monique, great to see you. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we're just going to be doing a very simple double cup pour. It's a very monochrome palette. I have a black base coat, so we're going to have I'm designing negative space into this painting. And I've got 3 metallic colors that we're going to be mixing in one cup. Black will be in our second cup. And hopefully we'll get a very graphic and kind of contemporary looking painting. Excited about it. We've got some interesting paints. We're going to be working with some deco art colors, so maybe we will get some cell action happening in our paints. We'll see. So let's go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera. Let's take a look at our paints, and we'll get cracking on our double cup pour. So here we go. I'm going to just flip this over here, and here's my panel right here. I've already applied the base coat, so we are ready to layer our cup and get going. But let me show you the colors. Very simple monochromatic color scheme I've got. So it's white basically. I've mixed both metallic white, this is metallic, Artist Loft metallic white, and the Deco Art Metallics Pearl color. And in here, about 50-50. I wanted to get it a whiter white than just the pearl by itself. And it also makes it a little more opaque as well. And I love that metallic white. So we've got our white happening. It's actually kind of a very subtle off-white. And then our second color here is kind of our middle value. We've got 3 values, kind of a light value, kind of a middle light value, and then more of a middle value. This is a combination of the Deco Art Metallic Silver and also some pearl in here. So both of these are in here, and just a little bit of gold in there, well, just to warm it up a little bit. So it's mostly silver, but it's kind of a warmer silver color. And then down here, this is a combination of our Deco Art Metallics as well, silver, and our gold. And I also put a little bronze in here to get it a little richer. So it's kind of a caramely, kind of a champagne caramely color. It's very pretty. So those are our 3 colors that are going to be going in one of our cups. And I've got 2 regular old cups here. We're going to be using 5 ounces in each cup, which is 10 ounces total, around there. And that's what we need for a ring pour or a straight pour on our 16 by 20. So I've got 1 cup ready to go right here. This is our 5 ounces of black. So just a solid base coat of, or solid kind of negative space of black, and our 3 metallic colors. So it should be kind of a graphic, very contemporary looking painting. Hopefully we'll find out what happens. So, but the silver, now the Deco Arts Metallic Silver and the Pearl, they're not as powerful as the 24K gold, but the silver does still have that potential, and it still can do some of those similar things that the 24K does. So we might get some interesting cells and things happening, which is cool. We'll see what happens with the cells and such. So let's go ahead. I'm going to clear this off. We'll layer our paints, and then we'll get to pouring. So I'm going to just slide these out of the way. So pretty simple, like I said, but sometimes these very simple paintings turn out the best, and they're very fun to do. So you never quite know what to expect, but they are fun to kind of come up with these. So let's go ahead and layer our second cup here. And I'm going to start with the white. Remember, the first color in is the last one to come out. So we want to draw attention to our center of interest, which will be close to the center of our painting. A little bit of our middle color. I'm just going to go in order of our values here. And then maybe 2 or 3 layers. There we go. And then finally, probably another small-ish layer. And by the way, these are just 1 part paint, 2 parts Floetrol. And I'm using the number 2 consistency, so pretty straightforward. A little bit more, and we're good. We've got our colors. Very pretty, kind of neutral color palette. So let's put these aside. And I'll pull my panel back over here. Something just about like that. And all right, so we're ready to go. Like I said, just the base coat on my panel. I'm gonna flip the camera. You can see our puddle a little better. I'm gonna pour right in the center. And we'll see what happens. All right. So I'm just going to be pouring out of actually I'm going to flip my hands. I always like to have, if I'm doing a layered cup, like, the colors, or a layered cup and like a negative space cup, I like to hold the more important cup in my right hand, my dominant hand, and then the little less important cup in my left hand. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to pour out of the same side I layered. And the black, it doesn't matter because it's just all black. And we're just going to pour it on and see what happens. So I'll try to get a good angle here. So just a nice slow stream again. I'm just going to start out and start pouring that paint. I'm going to kind of go up a little. I want to get a little bit more blending maybe in this painting. You can do that by kind of raising your cups higher. That'll create a more blended puddle, which can be cool. And you can also vary it, so I can bring that back down. But I kind of like that blended look. So I'm going to maybe do a little bit more of that. Okay, I'm getting close to the end of my cup here. So I got to be careful. I'm going to call that good. Kind of maybe an interesting center. But we'll see what we have. And just taking a look at my center here. It's not, it's kind of funky looking. I'm not sure if I love it, but we can always, if you don't love your center, you can always manipulate it a little bit. You can take a skewer and kind of mess with it. I'm going to just kind of swirl it to kind of get a little bit more blended center in there. So let's go. That looks pretty cool. Let me flip the camera. And it's a pretty interesting puddle. We do have some cells kind of happening. I'm digging this blended, these blended edges here. So let's go ahead and start our tilting and see what happens. So I'm just going to take it nice and slow, like normal. Just expanding this paint puddle here. It's looking pretty good. Just going to turn it around. I'm going to lose some paint off of this edge, but that's okay. We're going to tilt off of this edge first anyway, I think. Just kind of guide the paint over there. It's taking its sweet time. Come on there. Okay. It took a little longer than I expected. It's actually a cool, interesting edge there, so I kind of like that. Might bring that down a little bit more. I'm going to go back down here. Okay, like that. So that's kind of a darker corner. That's cool. We still have a little bit of color, which I like. Okay, so let's bring our paint back down and we'll go over these last two corners. It's really wanting to drag on here for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. We're getting a bunch of cells and they're getting all stretched out now, so that's not great. But we'll keep on going. Actually, I'm gonna pour a little of my white on there. Let's use a little. This will help stretch out that corner. It's a funky looking painting now. It's getting really way overstretched. But let's see what we can do with it here. So I'm just moving the paint back a little bit. I don't like any of these little cells that are popping up. All right, so let's do that again. Let's just pour on some more paint, and we can kind of help pull that corner over. The old flow extender trick. Well, the floor extender flew right off the canvas, but the rest of the paint is taking its sweet old time. So I'm not quite sure. You know, I put the base coat on just about 5 minutes before we went live. I'm wondering if that was too long, but judging from how slow this paint is dragging around, it might have been. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to say that is a disaster. Let's see if there's something we can do to fix it. So I'm just wiping my hands off and thinking here. So, and Chris said, is it moving so slow because not enough paint on the canvas? I measured the paint pretty closely, and we have pretty much all of it, 10 ounces on there. I think mostly it has to do with that base coat. Well, I just put the base coat on a little too soon. Because normally I've done that before. Maybe I just had it on a little too early. But, Barbara says, disaster, I came at the right time. Yes, you did. All right, let's see if we can fix our disaster. So I don't know if I have enough paint to fix it. Let's see what we can do, though. Let me grab another cup. Here, let me try this thing. I've got a triple layered cup here. Let's give it a shot. So I've got a little bit of black left. Let's pour that in the center. I don't know if I'll have enough paint though. Let me scoop that out. So you never know when you're going to hit a dud painting. I was excited about this one. And that's also, you never quite know. I had a little more black in there. Maybe that was part of the problem. Okay, so we got our black in there. Let's put our white over here. And we'll put a little more of our silver. And put some of that over here too. Okay. And put a little bit more of put some of our dark on top. Maybe I'll put some of that over here. Just scraping all the paint out. And let's go back to our white. There we go. Okay, so I have measurements on here. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough. Let me just take a quick look and see if I have any other paint laying around that we could dump in there. Here, I got some of this. This is a leftover. It's kind of like a gold color. Let's use some of that. And I'll put some in here. And I wonder if I have any more black. This looks kind of dark. I'll just use that. Okay. Maybe we have enough now. And let's see here. So, thanks all for the support. I appreciate the support. Let's go ahead and normally I don't pour right over the top of other paintings, but we're going to do it here. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. So this is I'm just moving my paint around, moving the cup around, I should say, giving it a twirl with the triple split cup. It actually kind of turned out pretty cool. Okay, let's pull that away. Wow, I like it. So, all right, so that has possibility, some potential. The paint puddle looks big enough, so maybe we're in good shape. Plus, we have a lot of like very wet paint here. So let's give it a try. We're gonna just start again and just tilt out our paint puddle. It's definitely a cool design. Okay, let's tilt off of this corner first. I kind of like, actually I'm gonna, well, I don't have any more black. Shoot. I'm gonna come back to this corner. I like that kind of black corner. Let's go down here. All right, so third corner. Well, it's looking pretty good to me. Okay, just get off right there and tilt that back. And I kind of like it just like that. So the only problem is that black corner up at the top. All I'm going to do is mix up a little bit more black, fill that in, and we got it. So, well, that went from a disaster to, I guess, a triumph. I don't know. I'm pretty pleased with that. Thanks to our handy, what, $8 triple split cup here from Michael's. So that went pretty good. So you never know. Sometimes the disasters can turn out to be something you never expect. You just can't lose your head and just try something else. So pretty pleased with that one. I really like, it is a very graphic, kind of contemporary looking painting, like I set out to make, just a totally different way of getting there. So I'm wondering, yeah, I just don't have any more black, but I can mix up some black very quickly. And then I'll just pour it on here, and then you could also just let it dry and then go back and paint it by hand with black. That would also work. So there we go. I kind of like it that way, actually. That's kind of a cool orientation for that painting. But pretty happy with the color palette. Totally unexpected painting, but some of those are the coolest ones. And yeah, Barbara said it right. Sometimes pouring over a dud creates an amazing painting. Absolutely, Barbara. So, and I think I inspired Carla. Carla likes it. That's a pretty cool technique. I think the kind of the trick with that one is just kind of turning your cup to getting these different kind of layers of color kind of going over each other. That seemed to work pretty well. So I kind of like that. And let's see here. Yeah. So I think, yeah, what I'm going to do after we're done here, I'll fix that black corner. I will like that much better if it's just all black, I think. But and then Lynn says no cells to mess with. No, the cells went away. So we don't have we have a couple little ones, but nothing big. We do have some of that cool blending effect because of those Deco Art metallics in there. And I do like this kind of crazy, spidery, lightning-looking lacing happening. So, all right. Let's see. Any questions you might have about our weird demo today? Let me know. But let's see here. Just checking if there were any questions that might have come in. And Barbara says she likes that corner, and seriously even. So, well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll grow on me in the next 10 minutes. We'll find out. But let's see here. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. I don't see any other questions, but what a weird demo. Normally I kind of stick to my plan. Usually they work out halfway decent. That one was a really bad painting, terrible. I'm pretty sure it had to do with that base coat sitting on there for just a few minutes too long, which seems strange. But, with fluid art, just those minutes count. So, but thanks so much for joining me. Turned out really cool, better than I would have thought. Never expected that. So, and that's one of the fun things about paint pouring, I guess. So, all right. Cool. And Lynn is saying base coat recipe. Base coat was the same exact paint as everything else, just 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint mixed to the number 2 consistency. So the base coat is always, or usually, the exact same formula, consistency, everything for more of these standard type pours. So hopefully that helps Lynn. All right, thanks so much everyone, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great weekend, and thanks for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.